welcome back to my channel and welcome the newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey by hitting that subscription button. It's free, and hit the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. I would just like to mention that if the video is a little bit too fast for you, up top there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also, right next to it, there's the CC letters for closed caption. You can turn that on, and you can read all the stitch that I'm calling down here. By pausing the video, take notes, will make it easier for you. Now, normally when I upload the videos, it takes about an hour for YouTube to search all my words that I'm saying, so it can appear on the closed captions. So don't panic if you don't see right away the closed captions, because the video has just been launched. It will show up in about a half an hour to an hour after the upload. I also would like to mention that if you have extra yarn, extra thread, and you'd like to help the women in need, we highly appreciate it and being very, very grateful for it. Thank you for the ones I already have helped and are still helping. If you'd like to donate, right below the video, there's a little bag of $. You can donate whatever amount you'd like. Nobody's asking for millions. Anything helps. It adds up at the end. You can also go into the description box. My PayPal account is there. You can donate through there if you'd like also. Please always give a thumbs up on the video if you like the video. It does help the video to circulate and also to be recognized worldwide. I gratefully appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's one way to help me out and to help to continue to create these beautiful pieces. Also share on your Facebook public. It costs nothing. Everything is free. There's no charge of anything. So please help out to grow the channel. I do have a Facebook group, private group. If you have a profile, you're more than welcome to request to be a member. It's free, of course, and we'll approve you. You must have a profile. Be careful with the links that you go into the groups that says cut and bit. These are fraud scammers that go through your phones, your computers, and take every information of yours. Do not open up those links. There's a lot of hackers in the groups now. That's why I made sure that my group is private. I want to thank every single one of you from the start being with me, and thank you so much for the newcomers. It costs nothing to subscribe, so please do so. Thank you so much, everybody. Everything will be listed always in the description box for every pattern that I create, the sizes, the thread that I use, which is Portugal thread. They're 100% cotton thread, 4-ply, which is similar to Aunt Lydia. Number 3, which number 3 Aunt Lydia is just a little bit thicker than my thread, not by much, but a little bit. I usually use a hook 3 or 3.5, a small one for tucking in loose ends, and a pair of scissors, of course. So thank you, everybody. Any other questions, suggestions, please feel free to comment. You can always get a hold of me if your intentions are to give some thread or yarn away. There's my email below the description box. There's my Facebook page that you can follow also, my Facebook group, my Instagram, my TikTok. So there's so many ways you can message me. Thank you so much, everybody. I hug every single one of you, and much blessings to all of you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, everyone, so today we're going to create the tea kettle, which will be very easy, very fast, nothing hard at all. I'm going to use a 2.5 or a 3, not 2.5, sorry, 2.75 or a 3, okay, pair of scissors, and a small one to tuck in loose ends, and we will need a needle to sew the handle in, and also the part where the tea is supposed to fall through. I don't know what you call it, the tea beak or something. I don't know. You figure that one out. I have no idea. Okay, so I'll be using the white. I'll be using the red because it's the set of the red. The gold one is already loaded. The tutorial's already in the playlist for the teacup set. So you can look that up if you want to create, because it's a different stitch from the red to the gold. So we're going to get started. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps the channel. Also share. Sharing is caring. And thank you so much for all the love and support. And thank you for the super thanks or super chat donation. And for the women that came through to help others in need of thread. I'm grateful and humbly appreciated for your help. Thank you so much. Blessings to all of you. Okay, so we are going to start by a 6 chain. So slip stitch knot does not count. So I have 2 already, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to come in the first one and close it with a slip stitch. I'm going to try to hide my thread at the same time. 1, 2, and 3. Inside of this little circle, we're going to add 19 more double crochets. With the 3 chain we went up, we'll have 20 double crochets all together. Okay, so row 1, 20 double crochets. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I have my 20. Now, normally, when you do your 3 chain going up and you do so many double crochets in here, it tends to hide, right, underneath. So if you're going to close, it's going to be like that ugly gap there. So what are we going to do? We're going to do another double crochet because we're going to hide that 3 chain behind it. So we have 20, and if you're doing one more, then it would be 21, right? Now this is right over that 3 chain, but I'm coming into the second one. I'm not hooking on the 3 chain, okay? Because I want to hide that chain behind it so it doesn't leave us that big gap here, right? It just closes up perfectly, okay? So that's a little trick for you. And that works for any pattern that you're doing. So I'm going to come back in and I'm going to do a single and chain 2. This equals a double crochet. In the same one, we're doing increases 2 per space. So next, double crochet and another one on the same space. So we're going to have 40 double crochets on the second row. Okay, 2 together on the same space for each one. I'll meet you at the end. So I've closed in my 3rd chain with a slip stitch. I'm going to come back in and do a single and 2 chains. Next space. So row 3, there is no increase. It's just 1 double crochet per space. Very simple. Okay, so 1 per space. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I've closed in with a slip stitch. I'm coming back in. I'm doing a single and 2 chain. I'm coming back in the same space. We're going to do the increase 2 per space again on this row 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next space. 2 double crochets together in the same space. Just like that. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, going into row 5. So I've closed in on my 3rd chain with a slip stitch. I'm coming back in with a single. Now we're going to change up. We're going to start creating groups of 2 double crochet. Like a shell, let's say. Actually, not 2. It's going to be 3 double crochet. Sorry, because it's a kettle. It's not the cups. Okay, so in the same, so 2 chain space in the same space. We're going to create 3 more double crochets, like that. Okay. So chain 3, 2 double crochets in the same space, 2 chain and 3 more in the same space. we're going to skip. Make sure, because this one usually tends to hide underneath, right? So we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Between the 6th and 7th, we're going to create again the groups of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and again 3 double crochet in the same space. So basically we're starting to build the body of the kettle teapot like that. And then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your 6. So between the 6th and the 7th, again, we're going to do this all the way around. 3 double crochet, 2 chain space, and 3 more double crochet, all in the same space like that. Okay, so you're going to do between the 6th and the 7th. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so we are at the end. Now, on this last one, I'm not going to do an increase because we need to have 79 double crochets and not 80. So I'm only doing 1 double crochet on the last one. I'm going to go up 1. Actually, we're going to do the single first. Almost forgot that. 2 chain. Inside of the same space, we're going to create the shell of 3 double crochets in the same space, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochets like that. So now we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we did the first shell on the same space right between the double crochet and the second one, and then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Between the 6th and the 7th, we're going to do the shells again. So you always have to skip 6 and do the shell between the 6th and the 7th place. So 3 double crochets, 2 chain, 3 double crochets. Again, we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 between the 6th and the 7th. So you should have 2, 4, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So between the 6th and the 7th, we do the shell again, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right between the 6th and the 7th. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. It should start curving like that because we're building the body, so it's going to start curving up. Okay, everyone, so we are on our last one. I'm going to close it in, and I have 11 groups of the shell. So I'm going to do the wall come into the center and single, 2 chain. This time we're going to do 4 double crochet. So there's an increase, chain 2 and 4 double crochet. Into the next space and create the shell again with 4s. So we're going to do 9 rows all together, including the first one here with the 3 double crochets. Total of 9 rows. I'm going to continue mine and come back to you at the end of my 9th row so we can proceed with the next step. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I've told you we're going to do 9 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But we need 10 rows, because I had mentioned that it was counting from the first row. In reality, no, it can the 9 rows of the 4 double crochet. So I didn't explain properly, but anyway, so we're going to have 10 rows, including the counting from the first one of 3 double crochets. And after this, we're going to do the 11th row only with 3 double crochets, exactly like we did the first row. Okay, so we're going to do, this is row number 10, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, counting from the first one, row number 10. Okay, so row number 10, we're doing the 4 double crochets, and row 11 we're going to do only 3 double crochets, exactly like we did on the very first row. So I'll meet you at the end of row 11. Okay, so basically we'll have 9 rows of 4 double crochets and 2 rows of 3 double crochets, which is the beginning and the last one. Okay, I guess I didn't explain myself that well at the beginning. So 1 row of 3 double crochets at the beginning, and the next row, row 11, 3 double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 rows of 4 double crochets, total of 11 altogether. Okay, I'll meet you at the end of row 11. Okay, you guys, so we finished row 11 with the 3 double crochets. I'm going to do the walk with a slip stitch. I call it the walk. For some of you that don't know, single, chain 2. Now, I want to close up pretty well this top part so the lid can go on perfectly. So I'm going to do only 4 double crochets, next space, 4 double crochets. This whole row will be like this, just to tighten it up the edge so the lid, the cover, can fit perfectly on there. Okay, so we're just closing up the edge here. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I pretty much finished doing the 4 double crochets just to close it up. Now I just put a bottle of water here for now, just to show you. But if you have a container, like a coffee one, transparent, is the perfect size for it. Okay, so this is just to show you. So we can cut our thread now, and we're going to proceed with the lid, the cover for the pot kettle. Okay. Okay, you guys, I'm going to use the red for the lid, and I'm going to do the magic circle. In case you still have a hard time, you can do chain 4. 1, 2, 3 chain. I'm coming in the magic circle, and I'm going to do 15 more double crochet with chain 3, total of 16 double crochets all together. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. I've done my 16 double crochets. I'm coming on the 3rd space, the 3rd chain I should say, with a slip stitch. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, and in the same space I'm doing another double crochet. So we're increasing on each space 2 double crochets together. So we should have 32 double crochets on the second row. Okay, so chain 3, double crochet on the same space, and then 2 together for all the other ones. Okay, so I closed in with a slip stitch on the 3rd chain. I'm coming back in the same one, doing a single and chain 2. I'm coming in the same space again and creating an increase of another double crochet. Okay, so in the next space I'm doing 1 alone. Next space we're having the increase, 2 together. Next space 1 alone. Next space 2 together. We're going to proceed this way all the way around to the end. 2 double crochets together and 1 double crochet alone in the next space. Okay, so chain 3, 1 double crochet on the same space, 1 alone, 2 together, 1 alone, 2 together, 1 alone, and so on. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I've closed in with a slip stitch. I'm coming in the same space with a single and chain 2. In the same, actually not the same, but in between the 3 chain and the second double crochet, we're going to come in and do the groups of 3 double crochet, 2 chain space, and 3 more. So we're creating those shells again, and 3 more double crochet. So it's going to look like that. And then we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In between the 6th and the 7th, we're coming in and creating those shells again as we did on the teapot. Okay, so again, skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 between the 6th and the 7th. Create the shell again with 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet in the same space. So continue yours and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I'm pretty much finished. I'm going to do the walk into the center, create a single, 2 chain, come back in and create the shell again with 3 double crochets, 2 chain space, and 3 more double crochets in the same space. Now we're going to do a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to come into the next space and create the shell again. We're going to do this all the way around. 2 chain space and 3 more double crochet in the same space. And chain 4, 2, 3, and 4. And again into the next shell. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I pretty much closed in with a slip stitch. I'm going to do the walk again to the center. With a single, 2 chain, we're going to create the shell again with 3 double crochets. This time we're going to do chain 5 to go into the next shell. Okay, so we have 3 rows of these shells. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and into the next shell. We're going to proceed this way all the way around. Just like that, and then your chain 5 again. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I pretty much finished doing the lid. We're just going to do the final touch at the edge. So I'm doing the white slip stitch knot. I'm going to come into any double crochet and I'm going to do a single, and I'll try to hide my thread the best I can in between them. Single, single, inside of the 2 chain. I'm going to do picot, come back in with a single, and 1 single per double crochet. I'm going to do a single inside of the chain. So we have 5 chains, we should have 5 singles. One on top of the double crochet. Still trying to hide my thread here from the previous row. One in the center of the shell, chain 3, picot, and a single. So we're going to close it up this way. Did I miss a spot here? I did, didn't I? Actually, I didn't miss it, but I put it in between the stitch. We don't want it to look different, right? And 1 single per space. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so we're going to do the top lid, little button if you want to call it. I don't know what to call it. Little pom-pom thing that goes on top of the lid to pick up, you know, a little ball there. So I'm going to do the magic circle again. If you can't, then do a 4 chain. Good heavens, get it together. Chain 3 inside of this magic circle. I'm going to do 16 double crochet, and that's included with the 3 chain we went up. So I'll meet you at the end. I've done my 16. I'm not going to close in my 3rd space. I'm going directly in between the 1st and the 2nd double crochet. Next space with a single. Next space, a single. Next space, single. So we're going to be doing singles for maybe about 5 rows or so. You could always advance and see how many rows I've done. Okay, so just keep going until about 5 rows. I might do 6 if I don't find it big enough, but I'm almost sure it's 5. So here is where I started my single. I'm just continuing. There is no closing in. We're just closing this into a little ball. So we're just continuing over the singles, 1 per space. So basically I'm on my 2nd row of singles already. So I have 3 more to go. Okay, you guys, so I got my 5 rows done. Now I'm going to skip a space because I'm trying to close this up more. And then skip a space again. Skip a space again. Skip a space. So I can close up. Now what I'm going to do before I completely close it, I'm going to put some cotton fibers in there so we can make it nice and hard. So basically we just try to fit the cotton fiber in here. It doesn't take much, just a little bit just to get it nice and stiffen up. I think it should be good. And now we can close up the rest with skipping until there's none left. Now I'm just right at the end. I'm just gonna come right through it, slip stitch, and slip stitch, and slip stitch. So I'm just going to pull my string here a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a bit of thread. Doesn't take much, just to do the sewing up top. And I'm also going to tuck in my little leftover thread here in through the loops here like that. Now you could always go to the playlist where I have teacups set. There's also the other pot for the gold set. You could use that one also if you want to create that set. Okay, so I've put my little ball in. I'm just gonna go right through. Oops, I think my goodness, what am I doing? Something I'm not grabbing here. Must have lost track of my stitch somewhere. Just gonna close it up here before I lose the whole thing. That wouldn't be a good idea, would it? Okay, it's not going to go anywhere now. Thank God. Okay, so we're going to place it right on the center here. And what are we going to do? We're going to go right through it. Guess I didn't tuck in my loose end here, did I? Well, so for the people that did the magic circle, we're just learning how to do it because there's always new people coming in and not sure how the magic circle, how to tuck in the loose ends. So that's good enough. Went in already a few times, so I'll cut it here. Let's try that again. Okay, so we got our little ball here. We're just going to place it right on the center. So you would just go in and out from the bottom, right in the bottom. Remembering that this is going to stay in the inside of the pot, so it's not like, you know, you're going to be seeing these stitches anyway. So in and out, okay? So just stitch all the way around, and then we're good to go. Or you can glue it if you have hot gun glue. So basically I went in and out through the ball and the first line that we have on the pattern. Look how cute that looks. My goodness, if this is not Christmassy or Thanksgiving, I don't know what it is. But I mean, it's good all year long. You can put this in a buffet where you have all your china. You can display this in a shell, anywhere, right? Okay, let's go into the handle, people. Okay, so we're doing not the handle, but the part where you pour the tea, right? Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to do 30 chain stitch, not including the slip stitch. So after the slip stitch, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, until you have 30. So I've got my 30 chain stitch, and I'm going to come into my first one. Make sure that it's not twisted, or you're going to have a hard time afterwards for the stitching. So come into the first one, and we're going to close it in with slip stitch. Okay, sure it's not too loose. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to use my 0.25 for this because I don't want that pouring tea thing to be too wide. Okay, so we're going to do 30 double crochets. I'm coming inside the middle of the chain in the stitch. I think I'll have a hard time. I think this is too thin for the thread, right? Try my best here. So we're coming in the middle of the stitch here and doing the 30 double crochets, okay? We're going to proceed this way for 4 rows. So when we get to row 2, we're doing double crochet over double crochet. Of course, we go up chain 3, and we're doing 4 rows of these double crochets. And then I'll come back to you after the 4th row. So you have to continue closing with slip stitch, go up chain 3, and then 1 per space. Okay? I just wanted to come back to show you. So I've closed in with the slip stitch, chain 3, next space, double crochet, 1 per space. So you'll have your 30 double crochets just the same. Okay, and we're going to do 4 rows of it. Okay, you guys, so I've done my 4 rows of 30 double crochet. I'm going to go up 1, 2, and 3. We're going to do a decrease now. I'm going to do an incomplete double crochet, next space, incomplete, and close it at once. Next space, 1 double crochet, and again the decrease on the next space. 1, 2, and 3. And close it at once. Next space, a normal double crochet, next space, the decrease. 1, 2, and 3. Close it all together. Next space, 1 double crochet, normal, next space, the decrease. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to proceed this way all the way to the end because we need to start decreasing so it can become thinner. Okay, so I'm at the end. I have the 2 incomplete double crochet. I'm going to come into the first one here, and I'm going to close it in together. Okay, so it's starting to take shape. I'm going to go up 1, 2, and 3. The next 4 rows will be double crochet exactly like we did here, the 4 rows. Okay, so into the next space, double crochet, next space, double crochet, next space, double crochet, and we're going to do 1 per space 4 rows exactly like we did at the beginning. Okay, so nothing to it, just 1 per space, 4 rows. I'll meet you at the end of the 4 rows. Okay, so I've done my 4 rows of double crochet per space. Now I'm going to do 2 rows of singles. I'm going to go up a chain back into the same space, single, next space, single, next space, single. Okay, 2 rows of these, and then we can cut our thread. Okay, you guys, so we're going to cut our thread. And slip stitch. And we're going to tuck in the loose end. Oof, too much of a thick hook, right? We want a thin hook to get our thread through it. Now hopefully you have hot gun glue, the transparent one, because we're going to use it. You don't have to, but it's better. It secures and you're sure that everything stays intact with your pattern. So I'm just hiding this in here. So this is going to be glued and stitched like that into the pattern here, like that. Okay, and then on the other side we'll have the handle, which we're going to do now is work on the handle. So I'm going to do slip stitch knot, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 until 50 chain stitch. We've done our 50 chain stitch. I'm going to come back 1, 2, 3. On my 4th one, I'm going to do a double crochet. We're going to do a double crochet per space all the way to the end. So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I've done my 50 double crochet. We're going to do singles now. I'm going to come in the middle here of our last double crochet and do 3 singles. Okay, I'm going to come on the first double crochet, singles. So all the way around will be single crochets. Okay, trying to hide my thread at the same time. So 1 per space all the way around, and then we cut our thread and we're going to proceed to start gluing and stitching them on. Okay guys, so we're going to put that top part where the T pours. I just bent it so it can be more comfortable to work with. So we're going to count from the shells 1, 2, 3 on the 4th shell. 1, 2, 3 on the 4th shell. So it takes 2 motifs here. Okay, I'm going to glue right on the edge here and here on the edge on the 4th shell, and that's to secure that it's not going to run anywhere. So I'm just going to glue the 2 little corners and then I'm going to stitch the rest through it. Okay, I'm warming up my glue now, which is the transparent glue, hot gun glue. Hopefully it's hot enough. So 1, 2, 3 on my 4th one. My gun is just so like old already and full of glue everywhere. I mean, it has done its work, right? So I'm going to put it here on the corner, and I'm just going to put my thread right over because I don't want it to run anywhere. And then the other one lined up right on the other corner here. So it's not going to go anywhere. We're sure that we're going to have a perfect finish here. Just going to compress a bit so it can stick. And I already have my thread with, just shut this down before I get glue and burnt. Okay, so I'm going to come on the very, very first one here. If I can get my thread through it, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a little knot so we don't lose anything whatsoever, right? And another little knot again to make sure that everything else stays in place. And we're going to sew both reds together. Okay, so you want to come through. Okay, let me just grab it from up here. So we're just going to, of course, it's got the glue, so it's a little bit more difficult now. But just going to grab it through here like that. And you want to do a good finishing, so I'm just getting through the first ones here just to make sure that just like that. Okay, now as far as the other ones, you can just loop right over like that. Gotta make sure that we're stitching in the right order. And then one stitch behind, just go back and grab them like that. So it really doesn't take much to sew this. I want to make sure that my corner is well sewed in, so I'm just going to pull right through to the other side inside, because I want that corner to be well in place. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring my thread back in another stitch here, and we're good to go. So just passing my thread through some of the stitches here, just so we can make sure that everything is closed up here. I'll make sure I don't have anything open here. And if you find that you still have some openings, just come back and just sew right, you know, stitch with stitch, and you're good to go. So this is not going to go anywhere, at least we know for sure. Okay, now I've done enough stitching as it is. We are good to go. Now I'm going to put more cotton in. So I'm just going to push it in here. Doesn't take that much. We don't want it to overflow with cotton either. We just want it to give it a little bit of fullness there. Not overdoing it, but we don't want a big ball, if you know what I mean. Just spreading it just so we can hold it together like that. Now, same lineup as we have the two here. I shouldn't have closed my hot gun. So I'm just going to glue a little bit, like 1, 2, 3, 4 on my fourth one here, just like that. 1, 2, probably 3, no, 4, definitely 4. So I'm just going to glue it right here just so we can hold intact like this and it can look pretty. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I don't want to over glue it either, so I got to make sure that we're no. So it will be 1, 2, 3. It will have to be on 3 and not 4. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to glue it on the third one. I don't want it to be over. So 1, 2, I'm going to glue it right here on this third one. And I'm putting the glue just right across. And I'm just going to compress here a bit. And I'm going to do a little bit more here because I don't want it to be flip-flopping anywhere. And a little bit on this side also. So it doesn't take much, just a bit to make sure that it stays there intact. Just a little bit on the fourth one here. Just a little bit here on the beginning of the fourth. I think it looks better on the fourth one. Got to make sure that it doesn't pull too much on these fibers. So I'm going to have to put a little bit more here. Okay. So I think we're good to go. We don't have to overdo it. Now, going into the handle. Okay, you guys. So from this one here, I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your sixth. If you put it straight flat, it's going to meet the front one here. So you know it's the sixth one, okay? From the one right here on the edge where we glued 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to glue it first like we did with the other one. And I'm going to glue it right in the bottom here at the edge of our first shell. Okay, and then I'm going to give it a few stitches to make sure that everything holds together. So I'm going to glue it here first, compress a little bit, and then I am going to glue it here on the last one here, just before the last one actually. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue it right over here, and I'm bending it, okay, because I want it to turn in. glue all over my hands now. Need to compress a bit. And then I'm going to give it a few stitches here and down here. And I should have bent this one too, but I didn't. No issues. No, it's too late now. Okay, no problem. So if you have a chance, bend this one in a little bit like we did with this one. Not that it's really going to show, because once it's straightened, it will be fine, but I would have liked it better if I had bent it in. Okay, and then I'll dress it up when I'm done. Okay, you guys, so by putting the green bow tie, it's too small, obviously, for the size of cattle. So what I'm going to do is, I usually prepare little leaves and little flowers. I have like a bag full of them for patterns. Sometimes that I might need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put it like right about here on the third one. I'm going to glue it so it doesn't come out of place. Just like that. And I found a rose. Now, on my playlist, there's the flower, so many different flower tutorials, and I do have this one. This is just rolled up, and I have it there. So make sure that I stick that little leaf there well. So I'm gonna hook this here so it doesn't go anywhere. Just like that. Hold it together. And I'm going to put some glue down here also because I don't want it to come out of place. So all you have to do is just compress a bit. And I'm putting a little bit in here so it can stay all intact. Just like that. And it still matches all the green bow ties, so it's just perfect. Put a little bit here because I want to stretch the sleeve a little bit more down. Now, of course, I don't want to open too much the flower. And what we can do is find a nice little like pearl for it. And just stick it in there like that. And I think it becomes just perfect. We don't want to overdo it, so I think this should be just fine. Now, if you find that you need to put a little bit more glue on your leaves to make sure that they stick into place and they're not going to come out, then I think that's good enough. Now, normally a coffee plastic container like that, or your dollar store at Lala, you can buy something plasticky and dress it up. Make sure it's transparent because we don't want nothing to be pulling through. And obviously, this is a little bit too small. I'm going to try to see if I have a coffee container somewhere in my cabinet. So I found a coffee one. I don't know. I know that the other one that I had done, so this one's a little bit bigger. The other one I had done is same size as this coffee thing there. And this is good if you starch spray. It will stay in place, okay? You could also do a chain stitch with two pearls on each end and tie it up like I have with the other one. Okay, so basically, this is what the cute little, it's a little bit small, my coffee thing for it, but it gives you an idea what it looks like. And I will have the pictures in the video in display so you'll see it better. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much, everybody. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. And I will see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.